Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's give YouTube time to get everybody in the room. Come on in the room. Gotta come on in the room. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yep. Let me see if I need to. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Let's go over here. Check out some pre-markets. Some pretty markets. I will share. Well, I can take this to another screen. Yes, I can. I'm at home now. I can take stuff to two screens. Hey, good morning, Sizzling. How you doing? Then I also have to make sure I pick the sharing of the screens. I now get to choose that too. So there's a 15-point gap between ES and SPX. There's a 15-point gap now. I guess I could leave myself there. We can still see. So SPX 500, which is moving now, let's put us on a chart that we can see the movement. It's the same as ES, but ES is moving 15 points higher. There's a 15-point gap between the two of them. So there we are. This is what's happening in ES. We're currently at 5,005 on SPX. SPX went on across the 5,000 threshold yesterday, which we kind of anticipated that it would. We talked about that once ES went across, then SPX would too. Good morning, Tanya. That SPX would too. So this is where we are at this point. Morning, Deborah. How you doing this morning? How you doing this morning? I'm up and I'm moving this morning, but my daddy's birthday was yesterday, and my daddy lives from me about 2.5 hours away. And so he had a little birthday dinner down at one of his favorite restaurants. So me and my son rode down there to go and surprise him at his birthday dinner. I don't think he anticipated we were coming. But after dinner, we stand around and talk, and everybody finally gets in the car about 9:00, which left me and my son to need to get on back up the highway between from 9 and again, it's about 2.5 hour ride. So almost 3. So I got home, it was midnight. It was midnight. So this morning I woke up at like 4:45 and I was like, no, I need to go back to sleep for a little while. So I went to sleep for another couple hours and woke up and read my scriptures and got my head on straight. And here I am. And here I am with my water. Got to have my water, right? Got to have your water this morning and ready to do what we do on a Friday. Got a whole list of agenda items for my life today, but this is on the agenda too. Good morning to Miss Deborah. I already said, Janae, hey there. Marcia, good morning. And Ocho, hi. The market's getting ready to open. That's why I'm kind of lingering here on SPX. I'm going to show Adam's numbers and such here in a second. But SPX is getting, right now it's at 5,002. Ding, ding, ding. Y'all just heard the bell. It's time to rock on, right? Let's see if there's, again, I always say, let's see if there's something to do, even though we don't really trade the open like that. But it gapped up a little bit. Looks like the open was at 5,004. And it is now coming down a little bit. But now, I mentioned this yesterday, where 5,000 was the resistance, it is now support. So 5,000 is now support. It was resistance, and now it's support. That's what, 4,998, but 5,000 in this area, this range. Remember, as resistance and support are both a zone. They're not a hard number. They're an area, right? So now that we're above 5,000, which is right at 5,000. Now that 5,000 will operate as support. Good morning, Adrian. Okay, so this is what's going on currently in SPX. Let's go and check out what happened over here. Earnings this morning or yesterday, Affirm had earnings, which folks was, we'll go look and see what happened to the Affirm earnings. Pinterest had earnings, Cloudflare had earnings, anybody of note, Expedia had earnings, Billy.com, Illumina, PetMeds. This morning though, PepsiCo had earnings, AMC Networks had earnings. I can't really see who these other people are, but they're not standing out for me. Let me see if I can get it a little bit bigger. Blue Owl, Enbridge. That's all who had earnings this morning. So let's look at Adam's numbers. Quick work today in SPX. Yesterday, we based in a 10-point range all day to set up another rally, and we got it 5,013, 5,023 targets, and we just hit 5,023. Anything else is just bonus today. Let the trailing stop work until it ends. 5,033.35 is up next if SPX wants. Dip when 03 fails, when 5,003 fails. Now remember, Adam Mancini is a buyer. He's an options buyer, and he trades level to level. So I always say that because I want you to know that you need to take information from whoever. In our case, Adam is very good with the numbers and the zones. But you need to take numbers from whoever, but knowing how does this person trade. So when he's talking about 5,013 up next, 5,023, it can go up to 5,033. He's looking at levels. If you're a seller, you want to look at what place the market doesn't get to. If you're selling SPX or XSP, you want to know where it's not going, right? So if you're doing XSP, you've got 504, just 5,000. 504 is your call place where, may or may not go. And 500 is your put zone. Remember, this is all me just talking about what I see and sharing what I find from others, but this is not investment advice, right? I'm not an investment advisor. I'm just here to help as much as I can. That's what's going on with that. Let's switch back over to the chart so we can see what did Affirm do with earnings. That was one that people were talking about a lot. I was seeing information about Affirm. Let me change to another time frame so I can get some more stuff on the chart. This is what it did after market, but look like it's the you will not keep us down. Affirm is in the finance space where I think if you buy your stuff on Amazon, you can use Affirm to like buy now, pay later. If you I think Walmart even has something now where they're letting people buy things on credit. Even at Walmart, I think you can go through a line and get it buy now, pay later, which is just another way to, I would say trap us, but it's another way to trap us. You can take it how you like. I'm not trying to, say anything, but I'm saying it's another way to trap us into some finance. And so, because of course they ain't at the Walmart giving you no good interest rates. They ain't up in there giving you no 2 and 3 and 4%. They gonna give you some interest rates that are like, 15s and 20s. So anyway, Affirm seems like let me stay on topic. Affirm seems like it is coming back to from where it closed. It closed yesterday at, let me see what this says. It closed yesterday at 49.22 and it's currently at 49.44. So though it dipped really bad and it's come back up. So those who had whatever they had yesterday at the end, it's where it is. If they thought it, options don't really start rolling after market anyway. It's the shares that do this drop. And some people might have jumped out of their shares last night real quick because, you can trade shares into the night and they might be a little upsided right now that they drop their shares off too quick. And now the price has rebounded and surpassed where it closed yesterday. But Affirm, now what we can do, I'm actually trying to work on a video of how to trade the day after earnings, how to trade after earnings. I'm thinking about what that should include. I kind of feel like you still go with the zones that you saw from before. But let's see what AMC had earnings also. I'll look at Cloudflare. AMC had earnings this morning, I guess this would be this, but it's still kind of hovering where it was. AMC seems to like the $4 range. It no matter, even if it runs up to something else, it'll come right back. Seems to come back right back to the $4 range. So that's where it is. Now, what AMC will do though, if you know it stays in this zone right here, AMC pays good premiums. So if all you want to do is trade it, you do some call credit spreads, some put credit spreads, you just want to do some iron condors, you can. I'm gonna show you the daily chart and show you how AMC just kind of hovers in a zone. It drop, and fail, but then it's been right here, right? So the low of this is 365, and the high of this is 450, 459. So if you were in this zone, that's pretty much what it fill the gap looks like. AMC is just going to kind of hover in here. You can trade it week to week. Watch what it's doing each week. Not investment advice, but just we traded AMC for a long time. Then when they did the 10-for-1 reverse split thing, several of us got caught. Me and other people in our community got caught holding the bag when it jumped to $40. We got assigned it at $40 when those shares just dropped back down to $4. So we have to. You had 100 shares, you end up with 10 or 11 by the time the trade was gone. So we're managing through that too. All of it comes with learnings and lessons. That's what we're doing in here. Everything you do comes with learnings and lessons for sure. Okay. We'll look at that here in a second. I wanted to talk though. Let me hit some other stuff before I go there, because I want to talk about managing your credit spreads on expiration day. All right, I want to talk about that, but let me cover some more territory before I do that. The VIX this morning is at 1284, kind of an indication that market is probably going to be going up. Yesterday we were in 13s. Big tech is scooping up the spoils of the ad resurgence. U.S. futures inch up, CPI data, consumer prices rose less than thought in December. Nvidia nears Amazon's market cap as blazing rally continues. How investors can take advantage of ARM's win. I heard ARM just went ballistic. I saw on something that said ARM went. Let's see. Let me get me another time frame so we can see what did ARM went and do. ARM closed. Well, this was yesterday. This is $94. It was ARM at there. Well, I kind of thought it was lower, $94, and then it ran on up to the high. I guess would have been 126. So $32 it went up. It now seems to be pulling back some, and it's gaining a little bit of strength according to the MACD. But you definitely, when it pops like that, you have to always keep in mind, if it pops crazy like that, either people jump on and they ride some more up, or that people who were up here say, "Oh, good, I'll sell mine and get some of my money." And that's what looks like happened here. The high went all the way up. This was Thursday, yesterday, went all the way up to 126. But then today we opened at 105. People are like, "Oh, we at 126. I'm selling some of my stuff." So this was a big jump, though. If you see, these are all the days of ARM. These are daily. This is the daily chart. Days kind of rising a little bit, nothing significant. And then earnings pops, and it does that right there. And you're like, okay. ARM may be trade worthy. Let's look at our, I don't know if we look to see about, trying to put my little gap thing in here. Got to concentrate when you're putting in fine movements. That's the earnings gap. It's basically what happened there. You want to look to see, can you get maybe a put credit spread underneath this gap? And the reason I say that is all of these are below. ARM is still new in terms of being lit. Didn't you say it had IPO or something? Somebody said it IPO'd. Good morning, Lisa. Hey, Deborah. Definitely would want to look, if you were going to look at something, if I was looking at something, I'd look below this gap, because this is where it's been hanging out, right? I would look below the gap. Now, the premiums may not be fantastic below that gap. So you can either do it just for the week, take in less premiums, or you can go out another week in time. Maybe if you really want to trade it, go out another week in time and pull in premiums at a level that's going to feel safe, because it, markets, stocks, everything else, the nature abhors a vacuum. This big old gap is a vacuum. It could potentially try to come back here. It could just use this gap and bounce back off, but you want to be safe in his arms. And if you jump out here too tight in here with no support in the middle, you might end up with the problem I'm trying to say. Yeah, it looks like it showed up in October. Looks like its first candle is September. Nothing shows before September. So yeah, you don't have a lot of data to go back to and with support. So definitely be wise there. Be wise. Okay. You want to be careful there. We did Adam's numbers. Oh, I did this here. Okay. Let's do our calendar. Friday, nothing. Can you say nothing? Nothing's on the calendar. Let me refresh this. No, nothing shows up on Friday. That is unbelievable that there's absolutely. Let me go on over here to investing. Let me go to investing.com, because nothing here sounds like a trap. We'll look at investing.com and see if there's something over there to look at, because it may be nothing, but we want to be very sure. Look at here. So what investing.com always does this on Fridays. I mean, it always has this on Fridays. It's the oil rig count. Basically, what our oil looking like. Fed Logan is going to speak though at 1:30, which is only a 1-star. And then we've got speculative net positions at 3:30. These always show up on Fridays. So I can go with there's nothing. So you don't have any traps as far as data and stuff goes, right? Okay, who's got trades that are still open? Who's got trades that are still open for the day that we need to look at? I personally have, let me go back to sharing my screen. I have some that I've set the order to close, and I had one that closed this morning. Looks like my Amazon trade, looks like it closed this morning. My Google trade, Google is actually breached. It is going up. I need to go and close this one because I had 146, 147, and Google is, I think, above 147, or at least it was when I was looking in the pre-market. It's in the middle of it. So I don't know. I may have to just wait and see. Let me turn to the 15 minutes, which is not quite 15 minutes quite yet, but. Ooh, look at all this right here. This is the first candle of Google. It can come on down, but it would need to come down below the 146. So I still may close it just to, save yourself. Save yourself. You have to do that. My Google trade it's at $58 now. So if I close it, I would only be, paying $58. When if I leave it open and it goes all the way through the rest of the day. Now, this is the thing. Through the day, on the day of expiration, theta will kick in. It's going to kick in usually about 11 to 12. I mean, it's already kicking in already, but it's going to kick in harder afternoon. The closer you get to expiration, theta is eating away the premiums even faster. So if it's lingering inside or near your zone, and you can wait till the afternoon, if you have the heart and the stomach to wait till the afternoon, then you can. If not, you're good to just close off and close off, stop the gap. You got to worry about it, because really I would close this for me because I've got things I'm going to do today. I have to do today, and I'm not gonna want to worry about what Google is doing all day long. So I may close it and then look up in the afternoon, and Google came down below 146, and I'm like, oh, I should have left it open. But I also could look back in the afternoon and Google's at 160, and I'm like, I should have closed it. So you have to make the judgment call on that on your own. Notice my XLY trade. I have a price in here for $1. I put this in a couple days ago, and it's currently at $3. So I'll just watch that. I have the 180 call. Strike has to be below 180. And if we look at XLY, it is currently at 178. So I may adjust. I may give it a little time to just see, but I may adjust it to say, okay, it's at $2 now. You can go ahead and, take me out of this. But what I took in $14 look like. So if I close it for 2, that means I'm keeping 12. Okay, well, of course I got to pay $1 fees. But of course, if it goes down, if it stays at, if it stays below the 180, then I can keep all my money. I can get to expiration with all of it. But that means I got to be, worried up with it at 4 o'clock. Maybe it's just done its thing and it's done by then. But if it gets to 4 o'clock and it decides at 3:30 that it's ready to run, because that happens on Fridays sometimes, then who is calling? Okay, Jamie's calling. Let's see what he's gonna say. Jamie. 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 I don't know if he's calling to say there's something going on. Let me see. Can y'all not hear something? Did you get out? What? Wonder why Jamie just called. Why do y'all think Jamie just called me? Anybody know? Because I'm not sharing the chart. What do you think? Why do y'all think he called? We don't see your chart. Okay, I wasn't showing it. Okay, we don't see a chart. Please show your chart. I breached. I wasn't showing the chart. I was showing. I think I was showing. You know what? I think I might have been showing. I don't know what I was showing. Yes.
Your chart. Did you start sharing your chart?
I wasn't. I was sharing. What's his name? I thought. But what was on the screen?
We've been seeing
the schedule.
Yeah, for the longest.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. I see why he called, I guess. I have 2 screens this morning, so I have to decide which screen, and then I have to pick and keep the screen up. Okay, so I was sharing. What I was sharing was, I thought, but I wasn't. I was sharing. Let me change the screen that I am sharing because I want to share. What does that do? It doesn't do that. Present. Hold on, let me figure out what I'm sharing. It's Friday. And then the other day, I was struggling the other day. Like, what are you doing? Okay, here we go. I'm going to stick with screen 2. But I was really trying to share this. I was trying to share this. This is what I was talking about, even though I wasn't sharing this. This is the list. I was showing that my Amazon had closed and the Google was at $54, $55, $58. It's now at $55. And then this trade XLY was at, I have it priced at the 0.01 limit, but it's actually getting ready to come into that zone, which will be good too. So I was saying that with Google, this was showing the market showing at 58. This is one of the reasons why I like to put the close orders up. You see, I've got it set to close for $2 and it's at $57. What this lets me know though is that it's like a glance indication that the trade is doing something opposite of what you want. You expect this number to be going down, not going up. So the price of Google right now is, I want to say 150, 146. So Google is 146 and some change. The trade is now in between my strikes, right? My strikes are 146, 147. You can see that over here. I got 146, 147 call credit spread, and it's in the middle. So I can either close it now and be, not have to contend with what's happening. I can give it a little more time and see what happens. Or I can, let it ride out the day and see if Google comes down below 146, all the things. But again, if you've got something that you're doing or you focus and not focused on this, you might want to, close it to shut it off, take your loss and let it, and then go on about whatever it is you're going to go on about. Somebody said that their Forex Factory has, that's what I was showing was Forex Factory. Y'all like, we can't see nothing. You showing us what we already seen. Okay, so let's see. I see some people are ARM is new in terms. Me, SOXL. Somebody said their SOXL was breached. What did we have? What strikes did we have on SOXL? I think Tanya said, why SOXL? Lisa says Palantir. Your Palantir should be closed, huh, Lisa? Your Palantir should have closed. Unless you decided to just let it run. What time frame am I on? 15 minutes. SOXL is currently at 37.76. This screen is really big, isn't it? You got to move the stuff all over. Okay, SOXL, what do we have? Did you have a call credit spread or a put credit spread? SOXL. TSM closed me. Call credit spread got breached. I'm letting it close today. Not sure what closed me means. Call credit spread 47 on SOXL or on Taiwan Semiconductors. SOXL is only at $37. Maybe you meant 37 instead of 47. SOXL jumped right on through that. This was a gap. We put this here. Oh, you got 47 on SOXL or on TSM? Because SOXL is only in the 37s. So that trade should be about ready to close. It's not at your strike. Let's go look at TSM. Maybe that's what we're talking about. It's at 131. We're not talking about that either. Hello. What was your TSM strikes? For those of you who say you're breached. What was your TSM strikes? Correct, 37. Okay. Looks like TSM is at 131 right now. It's definitely riding along the top of this Bollinger Band and not even trying to come back down to this gap is supposed to be coming back to. We're not coming back. I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. There's the gap that's from below from Wednesday to Thursday. Okay, let me see what else is in the comments. USO on the call side is breached, but the put is fine. What were your strikes on the call side? You at Ocho for USO. What were your strikes on the call side? I probably should go. I don't know if I had USO or not. Let me go see. I was looking at something different and was like, why, oh, why? Where did that go? Oh, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place. Monitor. No, I don't have USO still open. I must have closed mine yesterday. So overall, when you're dealing with the Friday, when you get to the final expiration day, you're of course doing what we're doing now. You're checking your trades. You're checking to see how close they are. What is price doing in terms of your strikes? Like I have this AMD. AMD is I have a put credit spread with 170 as my sale leg. At this point, I took in $40, right? The difference between these two numbers, 107 and 67 is $40. It's currently worth $70, $68, right? $67. This is what it's currently worth. So the trade is still good, but it's hanging, right? Because if AMD decides it's going to drop down to 170, then there goes my trade. But if I can outlast, this is where Fridays can be wrestling matches, I always say. I've got to wait now until I'd like to wait till I at least get to closer to a break even. I'd even like to keep the profits. I'm $40. I received $40. At this point, it's worth 70. So I'm upside down, but the trade is still okay, right? It's okay. But if I go look at AMD, my strike is 140. Nope, let's go here. I don't want you. I want you. I want you, baby. I want you, okay? AMD is currently, let's see what the chart is trying to look like. Aye. Big old screen. It's got a little red doji going right now. I need you to go on and stay above. This will be support 169.22. Well, that's not what I want. I want us to stay above 170. Let's stay above 170, but now it's starting to go on up, which is good. Let's go. So that trade needs to stay above 170, but it is hanging out right at it. It's hanging out right at it. Okay, so that has to be watched. Usually I do what I just said is I take and put, okay, you did good, Ocho. Told you take your lick. That way when you're done with it, take a few dollars off and go get it on something else. I gotta keep your eye here on AMD because I don't want it to drop real quick, fooling around with some piece of something. Because I'd like for it to get to where theta will work in my favor and bring this down. It's about 60 right now, but you see how it's kind of, because price is going up a little bit and theta is chewing on these premiums, the price is changing. That's the AMD. I told you the Amazon is up there. It just closed this morning, so there's no more to that trade. CYN is shares. My Google trade is up there trying to close. It's at 64 right now. It's at 58, so I have to be mindful of that. Google's still going up, some seems like. Riot is shares, and the XLY trade is set to close as well. I'm asking for $1. It's worth $3. At some point, I'll be like, okay, I'm good. Like looking at you, and then I'll just focus my energies on my AMD and my Google. Let me go ahead and I'm selecting the leg on AMD because I don't have a close order in there for that yet. AMD, select both legs, right click, create closing order, buy back the vertical. I want to buy back the vertical. I'm going to put a $20 in here just so I can see what it's doing. So at least I can keep it. That keeps it on the screen. So I just got to look at one screen. Oh, wait, you closed at 62. I did not tell you to do that. I definitely said 20. AMD closed right where it was. I put in 20. I guess I didn't make sure it was locked in. So it closed where it was, which, okay. I took in 40. It closed for 62. That's a $22 loss. I guess maybe that was the Lord helping me out. No, I got you, sis. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to close it for you. I'm like, no, I was going for $20. And the Lord said, no, we're going for 62 and we're going to cut this off. That's not what you're supposed to do. If you want it to make sure that your close order is accurate. I'm not sure what happened to mine. I put in 20, but I'm going to leave it where it is and take my $22 lick. As Ocho just said, I'll take my lick. Let's see, USO. USO's at 72. Yep, you were good to go ahead and close it. It may drop back in, but it's early enough in the day. I do sometimes, though, if I'm on a Friday, try to give it time to get out of the morning rush, because the morning traffic right now, it's still the first 30 minutes of the market is still just morning traffic. So sometimes I'll try to let it get out of the morning traffic before I make a move. I may put an order on so I can watch it, but I try to give it a minute to let everything settle, let the volatility settle down from the morning before I close it up or whatever else. But I want you to know, Tanya said, I guess I should have taken my lick yesterday. Sometimes if I get to the end of like a Thursday, like if I get to the end of a Thursday and I see that it's hovering right near my strike, I'll go ahead and close it sometimes and take, if it's just not that I'm taking a lick, but I'll say, okay, I want to close it for $1. But if it's worth 2 or 3, I'll just close it because that releases the buying power overnight and I don't got to worry about what happens in the morning. That will give me one less thing to concern myself with in the morning. Now, on the other hand, if let's say it's something, it's kind of hovering and doing its thing and we're coming to Friday and I'm expecting there's going to be some movement potentially on a Friday, I may leave it just to see what Friday holds, because Friday does generally hold some upwards or, sometimes downwards movement. I'll wait and see. Let's see what Friday holds. But I'd really try, and you should too, not to be hovering and hanging on to something in Friday afternoon, because Friday afternoon, the stuff just gets, it's exhausting. It can be exhausting. Okay. Close them when you can close them. If that's earlier in the week, close them, take them off the table. The professionals are not in the market on Friday afternoons. They off at long lunches, long weekends. They gone, right? They work hard from Monday. They start Sunday afternoons getting prepped for Monday morning. They gone. But you see that Google trade is going. Google is steady riding because I can see that those premiums are still going up. 147. It's through all the way through both my strikes now, buddy. So I'll give it a minute, then I'll decide what I'm going to do. What other trades are we looking at? What else do we have that was on? I heard TSM, but I never got a good feel on what was going on with TSM, on who had what and who got breached. I think who got breached, but I don't see who had what strikes. And did you have a call credit spread on TSM? Let's see. I'll put it back on the screen. I'm going to go back here in a second and see what SPX is doing. We got our first 15-minute candle should be ready by now. What were the TSM strikes? I don't see any of those in the chat. Tanya, you got 37 and 37.5 on SOXL. It's at 38.17. So an option that you do have is with that trade, you already got the collateral out there. You can get on the other side. Of course, the drawback, or you can use those exact same strikes. If you want to do, you had a put credit spread, a call credit spread for 37.5. You can open up a put credit spread for those same numbers if you believe the price is going to stay above 37.5. I'll show you what that looks like. But there's thoughts you got to put into. It's not just jump on out there. 37.5 on the put credit spread side. We said, put credit spread side. At this point, for this today, it's paying $14, $10 when you click it, $11. That gives you some of the money back. It's a 50-cent spread. So you put out $50, and whatever you took in premiums, I'm not sure what you took in premiums. But if you believe it's going to stay above 37.5, then you can put on that put credit spread at 37.5 and take in some more premiums. What I see is probably the top of this gap is probably going to provide the support. But you see this wick right here, but that's 37. So that doesn't say that 37.5 is going to provide it. You might want to do 36.5, 37 to stay inside this gap. Let's see what that looks like. 36.5, 37. That's paying $5. Not a whole lot, but you can, grab that. Or if you say, okay, this money I lost on this week's trade, I can then look at maybe similar strikes. I'm going to check us to similar strikes for a subsequent week and pull your money back in that way. 35.5, 35. You look at something else and say, well, let me go out a week, not back ratio. 35, 35.5. That's going to take in $14. That'll offset this week with another week, something like that. Don't let it feel like revenge trading. If you go through the steps. Now, if you make that move in the heat of emotions, I'm getting my money back off SOXL, then that's emotional trading, which is what we don't do. I'm not an emotional trader. That's your declaration, that I am not an emotional trader. But if you're thinking about, okay, I've lost $40 on SOXL. I'm going to go into some more trades that are going to provide, that are going to get me my $40 back, and you do the proper research and such to go ahead, then you do that. Okay. Morning, Tamar. How are we doing? What other stocks are we looking at today? Who else has stuff open today that they're concerned with or working with or whatever? Nothing else. See what Google doing. Y'all ain't got no more trades. Okay. Well, I also take Fridays at times to look to see what could potentially be on for next week. Yeah, Google decided it's going to ride. It's coming back a little bit. Let me see if I would want to. Oh, I was going back to SPX. See what the 15-minute was holding. Could you quit? Thank you. I'm running 2 charts. My system is bogging down. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. There we go. SPX, let's put on the 15-minute. Looks like we're already breaking out of the 15-minute zone. Top of the 15-minute candle. Bottom of the 15-minute candle. Okay, so this black here is, these 2 black lines are the zone for that first 15 minutes, and it is going out. We've got some rocket ships on the bottom of these, come on the bottom of those candles. We're trying to rise today. We're at 5,010 so far. Again, 500 is probably going to play support. So keep that in mind. I see I'm at Iron Condor, Google 149.50 and 145.44. For today, that's a good trade, looks like. Unless Google decides it's going to ride. Market does seem to, at this point, want to keep climbing, but give it a minute. We're at 10 o'clock, so the 10 o'clock turnaround may pause us a bit. It's dropping back out of that zone. You can come on back down, sir. I'm fine with that. 149 though, let me see what we got as far as probability on those strikes. 149 has a 91% probability of success, and 145 has a 92% probability of success. That Iron Condor just may work. It's like, I mean, of course, you can't tell how the day's going to go. Today it's got a plus minus 1.13. So even from where it is, 147, it can come on back down below 146 for me. I know you went above 145. And if it ends between those, I'm fine with that. But it can come on back down to 146. Come on, bro. You can do it. Google, you can drop a little bit. It's okay. Nobody's going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad. So let's see. If you wanted to look at that same trade, 144 for 145 is currently paying $3. 149, 150 is currently paying $4. You could get $7 off of it. But Jamie says it's going to ride just because I'm in it. Don't say that. Don't speak badness against your trade ideas. When one side gets ready, Jamie, if the bottom side gets ready, then close it. If the top side is holding on, you manage that. Close whichever side is good. Then you only have to worry about managing one side. Now, of course, you could wait till the end of the day and let it and see where it ends up. That's another option as well. Another option as well. XLK. What are you doing over there? XLK has become one of my new best friends. XLK is at 206 this morning. Riding with everything else. That's XLK going right on with the trend line. Boom, boom, boom. Now resistance is, or support is at 205. 205 and some change, and it's currently at 206. If you were trading XLK today, and sometimes people do zero DTEs on these other bad boys, but just know if you're going to do a zero DTE on these, you need to know you're going to use a day trade. If you enter today for today, you're going to use a day trade. If you're entering today for next week, then you're in good shape. Looks like 205 is the 87% probability out of the money. Let's see what that would look like for today. That is 202.5, 205. It's paying $6. Nope, don't do that. $6 for leveraging 250, not wise. But if you're looking for next week XLK, right? If you believe it's still going to keep going up, you got a plus minus 4 here. If you took the current price and took away 4, you'd be down at the 202.5. Be down in here. That's an 80% probability out of the money. 202.5. That's paying $27. That's above, 10%. See if there's anything of note on bar chart. That's not what I wanted. Go in under bar chart, check in under I would look under the put credit spreads before call credit spreads, because we just know if the market seems to want to be moving up. If you're going to do call credit spreads, make sure what you're looking at, it definitely has hit its resistance and will come on back down. Watch your trend. This is what bar chart has to say for what might be. Now, bar chart is going to give you expiration dates of the monthlies. So it's going to give you next week, which actually next week expiration is February is the 3rd week of February. You're going to have Exxon is on this list, which is mobile gas, oil for the 16th. They gave us 104. Don't know if that's what we would want, but we could look at it. I usually take these as ideas to go look at. It's got Mara on the put credit spread list, and Riot has risen on up. My Riot shares are almost back to where I bought them. I bought them in the $13 range, and they seem to be coming on back up there. TSM is on here, something we just looked at. This is the put credit spread list, and I'm looking at the expiration date for next Friday. Coin is on here. Coinbase is there. What do we have? DraftKings. Somebody mentioned DraftKings the other day. DraftKings. Mara, we just mentioned Mara. NVIDIA is here. NVIDIA in the 700s. That is bananas. Bananas. Netflix is here for next week. What's this? AMD. Also here. We know AMD is going to be around. I'll be around. I got one more thing I want to show y'all. Palantir's continued. It took its little earnings and it's continued to go. It was at 20, 21, 22 the other day after earnings. Coin, I said you that one already. Exxon is already there. DraftKings, MU or Micron, and Mara. Then you can take these and take a look to see what kind of money, what kind of premiums you got for next week. If you traded something this week and it's worked out really well for you, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. If you like the stock and it has paid good premiums, it's worked out for you, you understand what the charting's got going, use that again. These are like employees. If you got a good employee, you keep it, right? These are like our employees. Good employees, you keep those and you trade them some more. Okay, what I wanted to show you was the high probability. We talked about high IV probability a couple of days ago, high IV percentile. Looking at things that have a high IV percentile because the premiums may be up a little bit. And then when that IV percentile shrinks, of course, your trade, it'll shrink and you'll get to keep the 90s. So AMD is up here really high. SMH, we haven't looked at SMH in a while either. We haven't looked at SMH. And I'm looking at IV percentile, which is what this column is, IV percentile. Hope y'all can see that. It's kind of small, I know. Let me see if I can expand it into the chart a little bit more. There we go. IV percentile is what I look at. XLE for energy. XLY is up here. Anything above 30 is what we look at. INTC. Intel. I've been bit by INTC, so I've been kind of shying away from that employee for a minute. XLI, XLP, TNA, TZA. Let's go look at some of these XLs. XLE, YIP. Just to give you all some other things to look at. When you get in with these ETFs, they're not going to move as drastically as some of the other things that we trade. These aren't going to move as drastic. So when you get a good zone set and you get you some, decent premiums for a trade, then you've got a good opportunity for them to do what you want them to do. Put a trend line on here. We'll start down here and run it up. Okay, that's the SXLE. I'm talking about these for next week, by the way, not for, I just want you to start researching and looking at some stuff. You can look today, you can look over the weekend, but these are the times you chart things and you see what are things doing that may be of interest to you. And you can look at premiums while the market is open. So you can see, does it provide premiums I would be interested in as you do your research? Looks like this is a resistance, but it's coming into resistance even now at 85, but this is an upgoing wedge. The Bollinger Bands have turned up, so it may be still trying to go up and away. So this would look maybe an XLE as a put credit spread. Looking out for the 16th, right? Looking out next week. Put credit spread, we may look at over 75% out of the money. 82.5 is what I see as the strike. It's a 50-cent spread. 82.5 is currently paying $8. If you like the strike and you like if you like the stuff, but you don't like the money, adjust the money, adjust it, and then put it on as working. Click select good till cancel. So that way the trade will work until it does pick up. And if it doesn't pick up, you say it wasn't meant to be, because you want the strike and you want the money. Again, I always say this, I'll repeat it again. Don't change your strike based on more money. You change the money at the strike. All right. So if you think I really would rather get more than $8 or $10, I will go to the next strike. No, if you believe that 82.5 is where you want to be, then do that. With some plus minus 2, about 1.8. So if you take 2 off of here, 1.8, you're at probably like 83.5. No, 83, not 83.5. You're about at 83. So which is where we were picking. I think we picked 82.5, 83, right? You want to, we might have had 82.5. That's paying, you do your plus minus, you do your probability of the money, you look at the chart and you say, okay, this is the strike I want. If the money's not there, then you increase the money and let it sit and work. Okay, XLE at 83 is what I just said, in case you were writing notes. XLY is what's next on our list. I'll look at that. SOXL is fired. SOXL is gonna work for you. You definitely got to figure out what direction they go in though. SOXL will work for you. That's a workhorse. SOXL is a workhorse, but you do need to be up on it, because that horse can turn back on you if you're not mindful. Tanya say it's fired. It's fired. XLY is another one that's going in the upper. Got a put credit spread. There's a gap below at one. The bottom of this gap would be 176. So if we look at the trade, I'm looking for next week again, looking on the single. Notice I got them on the 16th, not on the 9th. Make sure you got your dates right. 176 is a 75% probability out of the money. So 175, 176 is paying $12 right now for XLY. Actually paying $16. That's pretty good return on that. Plus minus number was 3.3. Now that's going to be a little bit close, because 3.3 is going to take you down to like 175 and some change. So you might want to go down one strike, which is fine. Yeah, if one go down one strike, that's going to pay $14. You take in $2 less, but you get a whole dollar below. SOXL is up because NVIDIA is up. Absolutely. Absolutely. SOXL is an ETF. It's carrying all those semiconductor things. AMD, NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductors, carrying all those. So when those mugs are moving, so is SOXL. Okay, XLI. I like those premiums on XLY, by the way. Those XLY premiums were not bad. Let's look at our chart on XLI. Okay, looks like it has come into a little bit of a resistance area and did a little pullback. You want to, but it's on an upwards trend, so you want to keep that in mind. Even though it's coming back a few days, you're looking for, is it a true turnaround or not? Or no, as the kids used to say. They don't say that no more. Looking at us, say, come on. Trend line. Can almost go in here. Upwards riding trend. Let's see if I see some resistance. Might be at it, which may be why. Well, maybe. I have to go back and get more time. From what we can see, it has hit some resistance, but you still got to make sure. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Ooh, sorry, you all. I know when I move it like this, it affects the eyes. Seems to have hit the resistance of this Bollinger Band, and it may pull back into the center. It may pull back in, but you want to be careful. Make sure that you believe this is a good reversal, or at least, or good enough of a repullback, enough of a retracement to let your trade do its thing for 4 or 5 days. But it's definitely on an upwards trend. So I would probably go with a put credit spread, at least underneath this gap, because this is going to operate as support. So that's 116. I probably would watch to see how today played out, though. 116 is the bottom of that gap, but 115 is 77% out of the money. So 114, 115. Next week, it's paying $13. And the last one was XLP. What is XLP? SPI Consumer Staples. Okay. I always forget what's what. Jamie can rattle them off because he knows them all like that. XLP is Consumer Staples. 72.5 is the probability out of the money where we want. It's got a plus minus 1. That actually would probably work. 72.5. 5-cent, 50-cent spread, but it's only paying $7. What happens if the price gets back out of the money after I close the trade? Nothing. You closed your trade. So whatever you were doing, it's over. Your trade is over. If you decide I really actually do like those numbers, the trade is closed, you can always enter again. Maybe enter for next week. You can enter for today and make it a day trade. That's on you. You know, people use their day trades. It's your 3-day trades. Use them as they please. But if you've already closed your trade, then that's no more. It's no more you. You're basically on to the next thing. But like I was saying, I look at the IV percentile on the stocks that we look at. I don't know if I even have SOXL. Oh, it is. SOXL is at 15. Put in the stocks that you like in the IV percentile, and when they're above 30, they can provide some opportunities for trades. You know, another place to look for trades. Basically, above 30, the thought is that the percentile or the IV is going to shrink, and when it shrinks, it's going to help you out. SPX. Let's go to the 15-minute chart again. I'm going to start wrapping up here in a minute. If you got something you want to talk about, now is the time to put it in the chat, because we're landing this plane, as they say. Here we go. It is still outside of the zone, but these wicks on the top are getting bigger too. So what you do, do trade as you see fit. XLP, XSP. This is about the time to be looking for XSP as well. XSP. Let's go for some 0 DTE people. Thank you, Janae, with the Walmart, Target. What's PM? What is PM? If it expires, it's a day trade. If it expires and you didn't close it yourself, it is not a day trade. If you open it today and it closes today on its own without you closing it, it won't cost you a day trade. If you close it, it will. But I want to tell you something that the brokers will do. The broker, if you could be, let's say you've got a trade and you got it for today and you got, 45 as your strike on a put credit spread, and the price is at maybe, let's say 46, 47. It could be not far away. It could be, a couple of strikes away. But if the broker does their risk management sweep at 4 o'clock or 3:59 or usually 4 o'clock, and they believe that your trade is potentially going to be could be breached in the after hours, your options contract is weird thing. It's good till 4:15, 4 o'clock. But if the broker feels like it's at risk to breach after the market closes, they will close it for you. And if the broker closes it for you on the same day, they're still going to charge you the day trade. Right? So it either needs to be, the way, way away from your strike, or you need to do something that's cash settled. If you do, thank you, Philip Morris. If you do, we were talking about Google, and you're at 146 or 147, and it expires somewhere close to that and they get nervous, the broker gets nervous, they will close it for you and charge you a day trade. But if it expires worthless, generally it doesn't cost a day trade unless the broker manually closes it, and which they will do. Especially Robinhood. Robinhood is notorious. Robinhood will close your junk at 3 o'clock though, because at 3 o'clock that's when they do their sweep. Robinhood will close it at 3 o'clock, and you'll be like, "Where did my trade go?" Gone. Okay, so if you're looking at XSP for a 0 DTE, if you believe it's going to stay above here, we're gonna go look at the strikes and the probability of the money. We're gonna go look at all that good stuff. 499. I would probably look at something staying above 500, but let's go look to see if it's what the 500 strike for today looks like. Okay, go back to here. All this stuff seems to close. Okay, let's go to singles. Not that this is gonna make it any taller. Anybody know how to make this thing taller? How to expand the heights of these things? I don't. But if you do, please share with your girl. If you know how to make these lines taller, like they do on Excel, you get your row height. 500 has a probability out of the money of 70%. Just going to ask yourself, how aggressive are you? If not, go to 499. No biggie. 499. And then let's change the vertical, see what kind of premiums there are at either of those trades. 500 is paying $15, and 499 is paying, looks like it's paying $6, probably $8. Oh, it's paying $9. 499 is paying $9. 500 is paying $15. This is 0 DTE and cash settled. If I was doing today, I probably would look at a put credit spread before I jumped on the other side. It's a plus minus 1.6. So plus minus 1.6 puts you, the 499 is a better place at the plus minus 1.6. Okay. Okay, so we've got some stuff that we can look at here. Got some stuff to look at. What does our weekend look like for us? Our weekend looks like, first of all, Jamie, did you ever say you were or were not doing Cash Flow 101? Oh, it's Saturday. This is second Saturday at 4 p.m. It's sure it's second. Okay. No, 4 p.m. is what you're telling me. Okay. Sorry. Cash Flow 101. Well, I haven't talked about it this week because I've actually forgotten about it, even though it is on our calendar, but I haven't pulled up our calendar to look at it on this with everybody. But our community plays Cash Flow 101 on second Saturdays of the month, but it's open to anybody. Cash Flow 101 is, let me see if I can find a graphic real quick. Cash Flow 101 is a way to do like a financial literacy game in a gaming situation. Okay, it's in a gaming situation. I don't know if I see one real quick because we haven't posted it. Jamie, hit it real quick inside of the Telegram so I can grab it and use the graphic. Otherwise, I got to go search for it, which takes my focus away. I don't see it. Hold on. Oh, there it goes. I did see it right there. Oh, I don't like that graphic. Don't like that one. Hold on, y'all. Anyway, we play Cash Flow 101 in our community together. So that way we play again in a gamification situation. I think I found it now, but now I got to bring this back to minimized so I can put it on the screen. Add to the stage. Move it to the other stage. Come on, Arlissa. Come on, Cletus. Easier to do this. Easier that way. Okay, this is, I'll click on it. Cash Flow 101 is, Jamie is the one who is the host of our game. Basically, you learn how to get out of the rat race, and so the rat race is likened to our life and our regular rat race of our regular lives of working, paying bills, making investments, having children, buying or selling businesses, such and such and such. Okay, it's a good financial education game, and we play it together online. To get into the game is free. You just kind of create your profile, and which is very quick, and then you're in, and we all play together from our various places. It's a very fun time, but it always includes too discussions about things that are non-stock related. We've talked about buying houses before. We've talked about using REITs. We've talked about, so many different things. The other topics that are, financial, budgeting related, credit related, so and so. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning, we play it. Jamie, if you are near somewhere, you need to put the link into the chat. So that way I see there's a meeting ID. It's on Zoom. We play via Zoom. You may need to put it, maybe, you can put it into the chat here, or you can put it in the telegrams, but you can put it either way, whatever you're comfortable with. But so Jamie leads that. It's on second Saturdays at 11 o'clock. Okay. That's happening tomorrow. Righty. That is what's on the list for tomorrow. Sunday, we're live on YouTube at 5 o'clock. Yes. And I would like for us to potentially let's do during our 5 o'clock time. We will expand it to include some credit spread. Well, we talk about credit spreads anyway while we're there, but let's talk about some stocks that you like. I'm going to create the graphic I always create, but if you've got something that you want us to look at, or you looked at it and you want to confirm that you're looking at it right, then plan for the small account challenge people. Plan to definitely be there, so that way we can look at the stuff and get us ready for another week. Don't forget that you keep track of the spreadsheet. Keep your spreadsheet filled up so we can see how did our first week go in our small account challenge. We want to look at what were our profits and our losses for our first week. I really want to believe everybody was profitable, even if it's in your sim, that you're getting your feet wet this week, and then we're going to be able to double down next week, right? That's what we're doing here. We're going to make our small account challenge work for us. All right. I will schedule another call that is going to be on a Zoom call. I will do that sometime early in the week so we can discuss some stuff too. Wednesday, Jamie did the training on Wednesday evening on some credit spread stuff. Some people missed it. We had technical difficulties because Jamie wasn't able to get into my Zoom. I got into my own Zoom. I created a space. I made somebody else the host so I could leave because I was in church where it was very, very loud. So that's how we didn't get it recorded, because I tried to go back in and then tried to start the recording, and I was no longer the host. But Jamie was in the flow by then. I was like, well, we need to. Anyway, enjoy. Everybody who's there, enjoy. So that's what happened with that. Okay. That's what happened with that. Let's go here. Don't forget, our E2T membership is always going, right? And we can come in, you cycle right in whenever. You don't have to start at the beginning of the month, or whenever you start, whenever you're ready to start. It includes the morning calls. It includes telegrams, exclusive telegrams, where we are there to help and talk and communicate and chat and all the good things and help support your trades. We have weekly training calls, which was this past Wednesday. And we have monthly coaching calls on the first of the month, right? And then, of course, you have me. If you see that as a benefit, then go ahead and join us in the membership, the E2T membership. All right, let's do our declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account grows more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Do not trade my emotions. We don't do that. All right. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. All right. All hearts and minds clear. All righty. If you run into issues or concerns or such and such, then be sure to reach out in your respective chats, right? Be sure to reach out and see what's going on there. All righty. The XLY trade is starting to act wonky too. That's what I'm looking at too. Where's the price? 179 and some change. Okay. All right, y'all. Holler at me. We do two things in this community. Boom, 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 boom. We stay green and we get this money. Have a good, great green day. I'll see you all in the market. Bye, everyone.